people. Que pasa, sac, say what they do. Now, the first part of this video is about the Prime Minister. I am speaking about Andrew Holness has finally responded to that video. I am talking about that infamous video where you see the Popo basically a step on and basically a thump up of civilian. I am speaking about in Denham Town. I am speaking about in the garrison. Now, this matter was raised during a parliamentary meeting between both parties. I am speaking about the JLP and I am also speaking about the PNP. When they were speaking about the zone of special operations and what are the plans to be implemented for the citizens of those communities. We are speaking about the volatile communities where there is a state of emergency because, you know, so during the state of emergency, everything has basically been locked down very early. So they are making plans for the Christmas because they are saying that they don't want to interrupt the festive season for the persons that are living in those communities. However, during that parliamentary meeting, we also saw that the Prime Minister, we are speaking about Andrew Holness, also addressed that viral video. Now, when we think about that video, it was a bad reflection on the Popo. It was a bad reflection on Jamaica because we saw that this young man we are speaking about, Mr. Abrams, was getting a royal beatdown by the Popo. We are talking about them radnicking him basically. So the Prime Minister said in the parliamentary meeting that he is very worried when he sees videos like these circulating on social media of the Popo basically a BEAT up a next person or a next citizen, especially in these garrisons, because it is a bad reflection of Jamaica. And people, if you don't know, Jamaica is under scrutiny right now for its injustices and human rights violations by a lot of the associations. I am speaking about international bodies that monitors justice in all sorts of nations and all sorts of countries, specifically as it pertains to third world countries such as Jamaica, where there are high incident of P0L abuse. And people, when this happens, what happens is that Jamaica does not get a lot of the grants that it gets from these communities. We are speaking about the USA, we are speaking about UK, we are speaking about other first world nations. So therefore, the Prime Minister understands that when we come under scrutiny for these incidents over and over, especially in the 2000s, especially in the time when people are supposed to be aware of human rights violations and human rights justice and rete and lele. So the Prime Minister is fully aware that whenever this incident gets on social media and it goes viral, it is a bad reflection on the Popo, and even more, it is a bad reflection on Jamaica and its justice system, point blank and period. So Andrew Holness made it very clear, he made it very precise that he is going to deal with the situation, and he is also going to deal with all the Popos that were involved. And people, when we looked at that video, we saw that the Popo was acting very bad. They were acting very unprofessional. They were basically acting like they were some random thugs on the street that buck up in a them rival and them kind of kick off. Because we see them there fling some lick, them a kick the man in ribs, them a thump him, them a do all sorts of things to him. People, it looked very bad on the Popo, point blank and period. And I even saw in an interview with TVJ News, the man, Mr. Abrams, said that he is in a whole lot of pain. He felt like his rights, he felt like his human rights was violated. He felt like a little animal in the street, the way how them deal with him. And people, if you want the video, you can WhatsApp me at 1-876-894-2711. I've been very busy and I have some family issues dealing with. That is why I have not sent out any videos as yet. But as of today, I will be doing so promptly, point blank and period. So just based on that video and based on the interview that the victim did, we see that now the Oversight Investigative Branch of the police is investigating the incident. And the Prime Minister have also instructed the police commissioner that there is to be no sort of abuse during the state of emergency, whether it is uptown or downtown, specifically in the ghetto areas them. And he is making it very clear, he is making it abundantly clear that action must be taken against these popo, and it must be taken swiftly. And it must be taken to the fullest extent of the law. So therefore, we can basically expect to see these popo being fired, or expect to see them being charged for their violations of people's human rights. And the Prime Minister was also making it very clear that based on this video, it seems like the people in these volatile communities we are talking about in Denham Town and Rete and Lele, it seems as if they are in fear of the popo. It seems as if they are coward of the popo, because it seems like the actions of the popo are the same as the criminals. They have very bad intentions, because they are dealing with the citizens of these volatile communities. We are talking about the ghetto as if they are some common animals. We are talking about them and deal with them like them a dog, point blank and period. So anyway, people, like we say, we have to just keep our fingers crossed. We have to hope for the best and expect the worst, because we understand that in Jamaica, justice is like a fleeting illusion for the poor people. And even though we hear a whole bunch of talking, we have not really seen any actions. And I am talking about from the top. I am talking about from the Prime Minister. I am talking about from the Justice Minister. I am talking about from the Security Minister. And I am also speaking about the commissioner of the popo, and we're also talking about the top cops. So anyway, people, like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. So the next thing that is popping in the news, we see that the St. James Police has deployed its new elite quick response team. And they claim that this team will be up and running by next month. So people, we are talking about November. We are talking about just in time for the Christmas. We are talking about just in time for the festive season. Because you know, so when the season get kind of festive, that is when the thief them start come out in them drones. So anyways, according to the head of the St. James Popo, we are talking about Superintendent Vernon Ellis. He said because of the rise of crime in St. James and all of the robberies and Rete and Lele, they are deciding that they are going to take an approach that is going to protect the communities. We are speaking about the residents, and we are also speaking about the tourist people. Because people, you know that St. James, we are talking about Montego Bay is the mecca of tourism. So we are talking about Ocho Rios, we are talking about Montego Bay, and we are also speaking about Negril. So therefore, Jamaica is very dependent on tourism. So therefore, we have to basically protect the people that are spending the big bucks and making the place run. So anyways, Mr. Ellis is saying that the team will be provided with advanced technology. He is talking about wireless devices and communication system. Now people, when we see what is going on in Jamaica, and specifically in these volatile neighborhoods, we are talking about in St. James and the other areas that have the zone of special operation. We are talking about the SOE. We have to wonder how the popo communicate, because the truth and the fact is that if something happens as it usually does in a St. James and them places, how is the popo going to react when they don't have the radio, they don't have the proper communication, they don't have the advanced technology that is easily and readily available? We are speaking about places that we see all over the world that is serious about solving their crime problem and community policing. We see that Jamaica is woefully lacking. So anyways, based on what the superintendent is saying, he is saying based on this new technology, based on this new communication system, they can now map out the movement and location of their quick response officer. So people, we see that this is a good thing. So people, we see that this will definitely help with monitoring the crime situation in St. James and places like that. So people, we have to give credit where credit is due, because we see that this is a good move for the popo, because based on what has been happening over the past few years, we see that the situation is getting out of hand. And people like them say, desperate time calls for desperate measures. And based on what we've seen transparent in our St. James and other volatile communities, we see that there is no time like the present, and there needs to be a quick response with everything as it pertains to crime in Jamaica, point blank and period. So therefore we have to give credit where credit is due. And whenever the popo does anything that is good, that will lead to more criminals being apprehended and lead to the people in the community being protected, that is always a good look, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section.